Hello everyone, this is Rachel Yelin Dao. We are doing the 3D printer for the oils program, and here's our prototype. What you see in front of you is a LulzBot TAZ 6 machine, which is what we'll be using for the oils students. Our statement problem is that the learners are going to be printing a design of their choice utilizing a 3D machine, but have little to no knowledge or prior experience utilizing the machines and or the software. The learners that are going to be using the machine are oil students and staff. They will be novices attempting to learn a complicated printer.
For a use case, we decided to use Sarah Lee as an example. She is an oil student that decided to use the Oils 3D printer. She'll have a very easy time getting a hold of Vanessa via email or calling her to set up a time that she can come and use the machine. She would then have a learning curve that will be roughly around 20 minutes. In this amount of time, Sarah may feel very overwhelmed because not only is it a short amount of time to learn a lot of information, it is a very complicated machine. However, she will learn very quickly that she can reference these videos all throughout her learning process as well as after, and find that the tools are extremely useful. Sarah will be successful when she achieves each milestone. However, the machine can be temperamental and requires a lot of attention to detail. She may feel discouraged if she is unsuccessful, but it is a learning process and the machine is very complicated. Overall, the learner will be able to walk away with a print that they created themselves, which is very rewarding.
For our prototype, we have started with contacting Vanessa at her email address. Once the student sets up a time to visit the lab, she can either meet with Vanessa, or if Vanessa would like, we can do it remotely. And it could just be email contact and have the lab set up and ready to go for the student. The students will then get to see the 3D printer in person and get an idea of what it looks like, how to function, go over parts. Then the student will sit down at the main computer next to the printer. And while sitting next to the printer, they will get to go to a folder on the desktop, and then that will contain certain videos. So in these videos, you'll have the folder that has the manual instructions on how to set up the printer, how to use the software, how to choose the type of print. And then when they get more advanced, they'll be able to learn how to make their own print along with a safety video. At the end of each one of these videos, there is going to be a test. The test will contain information that was throughout the videos, and then them passing the test will be pertinent to whether they get to use the machine or not. There will also be a laminated paper with instructions on printer settings near the printer at all times. I feel like this is a safety precaution as well as an easy guide to finishing their print. After the results are sent to Professor, she will determine if the student is eligible to move on to the next step via email or verbal confirmation.
The first milestone that learners will need to achieve would be to access a video on how to print a 3D mustache ring. When the learner is successful and is able to print the 3D mustache ring, they will then proceed to milestone 2, which is going to thingiverse.com, where they'll be able to upload their own design and print. Learners will also learn how to load and print their design in Kira here. If the learner is unsuccessful at any point in the process and does not achieve the milestones, they can go back and rewatch the instructional videos to figure out what they did wrong. They may also contact Vanessa for further guidance, and once the student repeats the necessary steps, they may then proceed onto the next milestone until they've completed their own design. After the learner has printed a design from Thingiverse, they may then move on to milestone 3. Here they will go back to the desktop folder and repeat the process all over again to print their own design. When the learner has achieved all 3 milestones, they have then successfully demonstrated the productive failure learning of the 3D printer prototype. The strengths of this prototype are as follows. The prototype is easy to follow and contains precise instructions. Constructionism contests to the concept of learning by making, which this prototype exhibits and gives the necessary tools for learners to achieve that knowledge. Lastly, the feedback is given through test results, achievements and failures of the milestones, and from the instructor. The weaknesses of this prototype would be that even though it is precise, which makes for an easy navigation, the 3D printer is an intricate machine that may require a longer, more thorough design to completely understand how to operate the machine safely and effectively. The intricacy of the 3D printer may also require more milestones to become successful, especially if the learner has never used one before. We thank you so much for taking the time to view our presentation and take a look at our prototype for the 3D printer LulzBot TAZ 6. Any feedback would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.